quite often when working on a show that an effect comes every episode or quite regularly. Maybe a character's always in a night shot or regularly underwater, and so we have to shift the colors that are on the character's palettes. You might think the easiest thing to do is create like a compositing setup that could be saved into the library and used time and time again. But this is one extra step, one extra thing that has to be considered and brought into compositing. And it does have its advantages. You could go into these settings here and animate them over time and blend in and out. But also, it's an effect that, as we said before, only is visible in our render view. So if I turn back to my OpenGL, you see I can't see that effect. And so there's a more optimal way of doing this that is global for the whole show and affords someone like a scene prep artist the ability to swap in and out of these color changes at any time. I'll just turn off this compositing setup to get back to our regular character, and instead of doing anything in the node view here, I'll go over to my color palettes. We remember that job palettes in Toon Boom Harmony are saved globally across a show. If I change these colors, if I say, I want this to be a slightly more bluish color because, it's now nighttime, I'm changing that color for the whole show. And so we can't really work with these because it's quite a destructive process. But what we can do, we can create a clone of these palettes that Toon Boom Harmony can reference in a specific order to give us the look that we want. I'm going to right click on this palette here and choose clone. And what that's going to do is that's going to give me an exact duplicate of this existing palette, color IDs and all. So all the links between these colors and the elements are going to remain the same. I'll click on job. So this is going to be global for the whole show. I'll change this the name here. I'm going to call this character _night _version 1 and hit OK. And you'll see that Toon Boom Harmony has created a new palette on the bottom here. If I look over here, we've got an up arrow and a down arrow. If I move this palette above our existing character one, Toon Boom Harmony is going to read this palette before it reads this one. If I right click and choose tint panel, Toon Boom Harmony has a great help file that's going to explain the difference between offset, blend and mixer. But in this case, I'm just going to use offset just to demonstrate how it works. You can select one or multiple colors here for the panel to affect. Select all of them here, holding shift. And you'll see with my amount set to 100, the character's colors have shifted. That's because in the previous example, I've already shifted these before, but you can adjust these hue, saturation, value, red, green, blue, and alpha channels to affect these colors here. And you can see that kind of live, these palettes have sort of adjusted. I can move the hue, for example. You see we can wildly change these colors to 0. You can adjust the value, maybe make the character brighter or darker depending on the scene that they're in. And once you're done, hit apply. These colors are now baked, you can see to the left here, into this palette. If I change the order here again to put character on top of night by moving night down, you'll see, as I said before, Toon Boom Harmony reads the top palette first, and that's the one that gets displayed on screen. So a scene prep artist could have character, character night, character underwater, character sunset, and adjust those palettes order in this list to prioritize one over the other.